So let's talk about the altcoin season again. I know I have made a video about this a couple of days ago, but since then we put in a new cycle high on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and I believe that's important. Now, I cannot confirm that we topped on the Bitcoin dominance chart. It does not really look like we did. But, if we go below the bull market support band, which is currently at 56.2%, then I think that will be a confirmation that the top is in for this cycle. As you can see, we have not really been below the bull market support band for more than a couple of days, so it's still going to take a couple of weeks to confirm that the top is in, because we need the Bitcoin dominance percentage to go below the bull market support band first, and then we need to stay below there for a while. Now, if you look at this chart from a weekly perspective, it does not look like we topped. We did not get to the overbought territory, and we are actually at the yellow line right now. So if we drop below the yellow line on the RSI, that will again not be a confirmation that the top is in, but it's going to be questionable because we do not have time to start going back above it again. So right now we kind of need to stay above it if we want to get another high in this cycle. Now, like I said, Bitcoin dominance could have already topped. Maybe this is the top for this cycle. We don't have to get to exactly 60%. I've said that many times. I mean, in the previous cycle, we did not get to 60%. So maybe we're doing the exact same thing in this cycle as well. Now, why is this important? Why is the Bitcoin dominance chart important? Well, if we remember what happened in the previous cycle, after we had a huge Bitcoin dominance drop, this is when the altcoin season actually happened, and this is where most people actually got into crypto. And we had a similar thing going on in the cycle before that as well, as you can see right here. So every couple of years, Bitcoin dominance just does something like this. When did it start dropping in the previous cycle? In the first cycle, Bitcoin dominance started dropping in a halving year, and it continued dropping in the post-halving year. Then in the previous cycle, I believe it topped in the halving year as well. Yeah, almost. It topped in the beginning of the pre-halving year, and then we had a drop, and this was the altcoin season. And right now we are also in a halving year, which leads me to believe that at some point we will see a very sharp correction on the Bitcoin dominance chart that will continue into 2025. And if we start dropping with the Bitcoin dominance chart, that will make the altcoins pretty much explode. And well, Ethereum will most likely go up first, and then altcoins will follow it. If you look at the Ethereum chart right now, it still needs a third wave move to the upside. I mean, we are already in a third wave move, but it's not complete in my opinion, and we need a third, a fourth, and a fifth wave. And we could get to like $13,000 in this cycle, maybe 8,000 in a more bearish scenario, but do not forget we have Ethereum ETFs right now, and that could make the price go high, or at least way higher than everyone is expecting it to. And if you look at the other altcoins, I mean, Cardano, for example, Cardano needs a third wave move. If you remember what happened in the previous cycle when Cardano needed a third wave move, after we got this 1-2 setup right here, we got a third wave move, and we went from about 8 cents to $3 and 10 cents or so. Well, in the third wave, we went to $2.50. And I mean, that was a pretty major move. It was a 3,000% move. And I'm not saying Cardano will do the exact same thing in this cycle as well, but if we follow what happened in the previous cycle, then we need to go in a third wave at some point, And that third wave could put us above the previous all-time high and maybe even higher than that. And Cardano is not the only coin that needs a third wave move. I mean, ICP also needs a third wave move to the upside if you look at this chart. Now, ICP is a bit different because it was pretty much launched during the bear market, and it was launched when Bitcoin dominance was going up. So the pump that we got right here only happened, in my opinion, because Bitcoin got a pump. So I don't think this would have happened without Bitcoin, and I think we would have continued going like this until we actually got some kind of move when Bitcoin dominance topped. Now ICP is a bit different. I don't know if we'll get 5 waves in this cycle. We might only get 3 waves, but still it's in a 1-2 setup right now. It's holding support levels just like Cardano and Ethereum, and we need a third wave at some point. I mean, that's how Elliott wave works. Solana also needs another high in the first wave. I believe the third wave move is already in on the Solana chart. but we still need a fifth wave, and that could put us at, let's say, $500 to maybe even $1,000 if things are more bullish. And also, many altcoins have been in a correction for the past 5 or 6 months. We cannot keep being in a correction, at some point we need to actually do something. And if you look at what happened here, for example, at least on the Solana chart, we went sideways from February of 2023 to about September of 2023. So that's like what, 7 or 8 months? And what happened here looks very similar to what's happening right now. And look at what happened after that. We had this huge pump. Now let's move on to some other altcoins, for example Uniswap. Uniswap is also in a second wave move down. It's in a 1-2 setup as well. And it also needs a third wave move, and then a fourth and a fifth. And if you look at a meme coin like Shiba Inu, Shiba Inu is in a fourth wave move down right now, and it still needs another high in the fifth wave. I don't know how strong the fifth wave will be. It does not have to go to these levels right here. Maybe it will only go to this level, but even so, that's still another 5x from where we're at right now. So, and also this coin has also been in a correction for the past 6 months. So at some point we need to do something because this is not a bear market. Do not forget that. Altcoins are only doing this because Bitcoin dominance is going up and it's close to topping. This does not usually happen, during a bull market. Now, there are some coins that are not doing that well right now. For example, Matic. Matic is just doing absolutely nothing. It's very close to getting another bear market low. And I think that would be okay if it happened, because if you look at this chart, we can count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup. And I think it would look better if the fourth wave bottomed right here rather than here, because the fifth wave that we got, well, this is supposed to be a fifth wave, but it does not really act like one. This is not looking that well. So what we got right here it's not the best looking price action. And I would much rather see another fourth wave move down and then a fifth wave. Now, of course, not all altcoins need to go up, and not all altcoins will get an altcoin season. Sure, they are very likely to go up as well, but there are some altcoins that will do way better than other altcoins. That's what happens in a cycle. Altcoins outperform other altcoins. And if you're lucky, you just pick an altcoin and hope that it's the best performing altcoin of the cycle. If it's not, then, that's too bad. Now, I don't think Polygon will be the best altcoin of this cycle, but if you look at what happened in the previous cycle in the third wave move up, Polygon did go from about 1 cent to $2.91. So is there potential for this to happen again? Absolutely. Is it going to happen again? I don't know. Moving on to Near Protocol, this is also a coin that's in a 1-2 setup, and this coin also needs a third wave move up, and then a fourth and then a fifth, and yeah, I think Near Protocol can get another bull market high in this cycle. Now, if you look at Chainlink also needs a third wave move to the upside, and that would actually be the third wave of a much larger third wave move to the upside, so this will most likely be very, very bullish, and I think Chainlink will be one of the best performing coins of this cycle, but of course that's just my opinion, and I think Chainlink could go up another 10 to even 20x from where it's at right now, maybe even higher if things are more bullish. And Dogecoin also needs a third wave move. As you can see, just like the other altcoins, Dogecoin has also been in a sharp correction for the past 6 months, and at some point we need to do something. The move that we got right here looks actually very similar to what we got right here, so even the RSI is at similar levels, so I think Dogecoin has the potential to get a very, very impulsive third wave move to the upside. AVAX is another altcoin that needs a third wave, and then a fourth and then a fifth, and I think it will break its previous all-time highs in this cycle. Maybe we'll go to like $250 in this cycle, or maybe even $400 if things are more bullish. And there are many, many other altcoins. For example, Vechain also needs a third wave. Render is already in a third wave, but I don't think the third wave is done, so it still needs to go up at some point. Jasmy also needs to go up. It's also in a 1-2 setup, and this chart looks actually very similar to the ICP chart. Maybe a bit more bullish though, because here we went up a lot more than what we went up on the ICP chart. And even Fetch AI needs another high. to finish its main third wave, so I think you get it by now. I'm expecting an altcoin season, and of course, there are some altcoins like Fetch AI that already, I mean, you could say that they already had an altcoin season. And I mean, yeah, that is true, but even though they already had a season, an altcoin season, that does not mean that these charts will go down when Bitcoin dominance goes down. That would not make the most amount of sense. So, I'm still tracking the Bitcoin dominance chart right now, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm expecting it to top very, very soon, and if it doesn't top by October, then we will most likely extend this all the way to, let's say, December. But then in December we have to top, or otherwise I don't think we'll get an altcoin season in this cycle. Let's hope that does not happen though. Let's hope we just top in this month and then we get this over with, because altcoins have been bleeding against Bitcoin for a very long time now, and they need a break. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. We also offer a personal altcoin analysis to gold members, so if you're interested in that, check it out. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.